Hello, hello. We're back. Been a while. I took a couple days off. My brother had a few days off from work, so I want to spend some time with him. He gets his days off on Monday and Tuesday. I'm trying to stream in the afternoon, midday area. So I'm gonna do like at least a short stream right now. Just something quick. No pressure. Just to get in the habit. Back underwater. Now, I remember this place very well. I'm just checking everything out again because it's been a couple days looking at it all. There was like this weird bridge area up ahead with all these like philosophical quotes in it, which I thought was an interesting place to stop. Ooh, look at all those psychedelic bubbles back there. Hell yeah, you ready to get your minds opened? Is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. Lots of jellyfish. Whoa. Far out, man. Yeah. I like this kind of theme of a relaxing, somewhat stimulating environment to allow people to like think about just think in their own on their own terms, separate from everything. Ooh, waterfall noise. That's very relaxing. What's this? A honeycomb? That's nothing. Speaking of that, I was listening to another episode of Distractable. I like the new format. Bob, Wade, Markiplier, or Mark, I guess. Just talk about random stuff every episode. I don't know if any of you watched it, but Markiplier said that all the new Pokemon games just got worse and worse every time because they were talking about hills that they would die on. And I was just like, dude, no. I love the older Pokemon games, Ruby and Sapphire were the generation I really grew up with. I admit Diamond Pearl wasn't the best. It wasn't a huge advancement. But pretty much every game after that has been an improvement. And I don't even play them that much. I've played them a little bit and seen some Let's Plays. And I just admit that out of honesty. Black and White is better than Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Even though I love those games, I think they're pretty darn well done. They actually have been improving them, so I just had to disagree there. I think he was just sick of Pokemon Fanatic fans, but that's just because he's a big celebrity. He meets the weirdest people first because they're the loudest. A bit of an overkill, I thought. I like to hear passion, so I just don't really subscribe to that kind of belief too much, but you know. It was Hills That We Die On, and it was about ranting against stuff, so I guess I got to do a little bit of that too. With time, what is important will change. You must choose what you will keep and what you will cast away. Yes, so many philosophical quotes. This is a question of moralism, about how your being and like psyche, that's very Buddha actually, about how like your entire person changes from moment to moment. There's no you. These guys are making the argument that you have a moral choice or even maybe an obligation to try to ritualize, I guess is what they're talking about, to make habit or to remember states of thought that you're in before, or what you think is important, because that's what a ritual is, right? It's like taking what's important and then solidifying it through trying to keep it static through time. So that's what they're advocating for. Buddhists would probably disagree, but I like it. It's very interesting. I mean, I was talking about that last episode about trying to like build a good life. But there are plenty of philosophers out there who would say that it's pointless. So I always like to give a little bit of both sides on those issues, because I don't think everything's so cut and dry. But just because there's both sides doesn't mean you can't just make some arbitrary choice, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, that's what it is. It's a human choice. Another face. It's a human choice that like has nothing to do with like any sort of rationality. I was thinking about that this morning. Or not this morning, yesterday morning. And I thought I was thinking about ergo cogito sum. Is that how you say it? Like, I think, therefore I am. And it occurred to me that the idea that some sort of thinking, like a cerebration, is occurring seems to be self-evident. It's like something must be happening, or this, whatever it is you're experiencing, wouldn't be occurring. But then I thought, I was like, well, saying something is a thing different from nothing is the predicate for that idea. You're already assuming that something is different from nothing, when in fact they might just be the same thing, and what you're saying is meaningless. And I thought about it. I was like, before anything happens, time or matter, there has to be some sort of change. Maybe not like time change or whatever, but there has to be some sort of dynamism. Otherwise, it would remain no time or no matter forever. If it was the nature of nothing was static, nothing as we think of it was static, then they would never change and we would never get to the something, right? Unless the entire universe just goes on forever. But that just proves the idea that there is no nothing anyways. And since it would require the nothingness to have some sort of dynamism and change in order to create somethingness, then nothing and something really are very similar, because how do we define something if not cause and effect? The things happening, change. Existing as opposed to being non-existent is just being alive as opposed to being dead. And so I was like, there's really no hard evidence that something and nothing is a real concept except what humans have arbitrarily made up. And if that's true, then you really can't say anything's rational, right? It's all just human choices. So with that, I implore you all to think freely. Have no shame in yourselves, as Nietzsche would probably advocate. And try to be the best you can be, and be who you are meant to be. Because it's all absurd anyways. There you go. That was my whole point of my spiel. Humans are bounded creatures. I mean, this may seem like a little over the top, but we are in the philosophical section of the game, so you'll have to give me some rope to hang myself with. Humans are bounded creatures. Your limits are what define you, what makes you human. Yeah, that's probably true. I think I talked about them last time I played. I'm just retracing stuff, but that's alright. Getting back in the swing of things. This might be a shorter episode because it's the middle of the day and I do have other stuff I want to do. Like hang out and whatnot. As much as I'm sure you all have stuff to do. So we're hitting these from these two little alien creatures. We're saying you have the ability to ritualize and make permanent what you want to be important, and the other person's like, and you have to make choices based on your human limits, or yeah, I guess I'm just saying exactly what he said. So we're getting a game here that's very much about day-to-day sort of probably Christian moral choices and whatnot, you know. Memories are not free. They cost $12.99. Okay. But I did say that was why I wanted to play this game, so I'm in for it. Your memories are not free. To gain a memory, another must be shrouded, and yet all memories will eventually fade. Perhaps you've already noticed the curse of Deeper Well. Is that true? Like, if you choose to remember something, something else gets lost? Since emotions are mostly, since memories are mostly emotions, is what I meant to say. That's probably true. If you remember an event positively, it's pretty hard to remember it negatively, so something's being shrouded. I wouldn't say you just forget stuff. I don't think that's what they mean, though. But I kind of agree with that. That's interesting. I mean, you know, we don't... I mean, here's something I'll say. If you ever play a game like this that encourages you to think, you don't have to accept everything that it says. Or maybe sometimes you don't accept it right away, but you chew on it, and then it makes more sense to you, and you change your mind. That happens too. Skepticism is okay. When trouble shows itself, there's always the choice to run. But one day you may very well find yourself running alone. Ooh. I don't know about that one. That one's a mystery to me. That's like a proverb. Yeah. That's an advocacy for some sort of independence, it seems to me. I think we have too much independence in the world that we live in today, to be honest. It's exaggerated. Human beings are not magically perfect independent creatures. The sun shined brighter when she was here. That's the epitaph on Marie's tombstone. Being echoed here. Hey! I didn't say I was done yet. Is this progress? I want to check everything out. How do I get... Oh, right, I can swim. Duh. Give me... Life jam. Jamming out to life. Okay, I think we talked to everyone on that side. Let's go to this portal. Melon. Rain cloud. There's a sleepy dude. What do you have to say? What if it's up to you? What if it's only up to you? Carry on, dreamer. You are the only one who can. Ooh, interesting. Taking into account some sense of like specialness or uniqueness and self-empowerment. That's always a tempting thing to do, isn't it? To just be like, the world is set up so that your action is like the important thing. Another very Christian idea. So the sort of sense that like you're supposed to act to a plan and you're being tested. And now you may think from me saying this that I am completely rejecting of Christian zeitgeist or whatever. That's not true. I'm the kind of person who I like to look at one system of belief and then another and then like mix them together and see if from it I can pull out something that I find interesting. I don't want to like take something wholesale. I suppose if there's any younger people out there, and I don't mean to be, because I was obviously young at one point, I like to just take ideas and experiment with them, try them out for myself, just as they are, without sifting through them or changing them. And if that's where you are in life, that's fine. You need to do that at some point, and I still do that now that I'm older once in a while too. I'd say I would be doing that mostly with Nietzsche right now. I'm trying something new and creative here, and I mean, Nietzsche would encourage that, I'm sure. But there's another way to do it. You don't just take something wholesale. You take something that you know and then have it interact with, or have a dialectic, I think is the word philosophers use, and see if like some further knowledge is gained from juxtaposing or contradicting those two ideas with each other. having them speak to each other. Do you talk, little jellyfish? The universe is full of questions that you will never answer. Yet there are also ones that only you can answer. When the truth is revealed, what will you do? Okay, these are some very cryptic messages. What do we got here? Full of questions you will never answer. Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about the idea of what happens before the universe. Like eternalism versus a finite universe, and what is the nature of all that. We don't know. Some people posit a multiverse, which explains how the Big Bang randomly comes about. I don't know if Big Bang's like the correct term anymore. I forget. Who cares? There are only ones that you can answer. And that's what I was talking about earlier. That's like, some of it is absurdity and just like human caprice. And so you have to just make a choice. And that really comes down to you randomly choosing stuff based on... You could say how you feel, but I would say it's partly that and partly one's experiences. When the truth is revealed, what will you do? What truth? If only I could hope to have a truth revealed. Do they mean when you die? I hope not. What's the truth that gets revealed? So, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, because these are all super interesting. I feel like I'm getting an insight into the creator's personal questions and headspace. And all of these sort of indicate what their creator is concerned with at the moment, for sure. Feels kind of naughty. I'm like inside their personal world. Just kidding. I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss anything. So I found this place. I think this is a key part of the game, honestly. It's like an intermission, but... Okay, nothing here. We got everything. Truth will be revealed. That's very Christian sounding. But it's also very Buddhist sounding, because the Buddhists believe in... Most Buddhists, I'm sure there's exceptions, because there's many different branches. But most believe in some sort of nirvana enlightenment. I believe there's a small group that is just like... That's not really important. What's important is just freeing yourself from worldly concerns, or however they would phrase it. I read a fair bit of Buddhism when I was a kid, and I was glad that I did. Why is there a fishbowl over there? I was glad that I did because it was another worldview that was coherent. Buddhism is very, like, coherent. That makes sense. Fairly compelling. That was just different from the world I was in. That was clearly self-serving. What a treat. I guess that's it. Oh, I'm sad to go, but I guess we have to go. Introspection can't last forever, folks. Otherwise, you just end up bouncing the same stuff off of mirrors continuously. It gets diluted. There's no point. I would say act 6 times more than you introspect, and at least you'll have something to think about. That would be my advice. If I was to randomly give bullshit advice. Nice music, though. What's over here? Let's check it out. Ooh, this place is so spooky. It's super spooky. I want to jump down here now. They didn't let me do it. Good. Ah! Why hideous sea monster? But also, why not hideous sea monster? Yeah, I feel like this was the right way to go, so we might want to backtrack a little bit. Oh, this is the dopest synthwave Sybient music Very, very interesting. Oh, dude, I love Sybient music. I heard the developer of this is called Omori. I will be doing some research on them afterwards, but I'm just going to take the game as it is first and then figure out more about the author. I just feel like that's fair. Like, one should be judged mostly on one's creative work first, and then you can read about the author afterwards. You can put those two things together. Maybe sometimes they have to be reconciled, because sometimes the author's not at all what you expected. Okay, we're gonna come back here and listen to this music because that is good. Oh, that's nuts. It's nutty, dude. I can't believe this developer is so into Sybient. I fucking love Sybient music. It's sick. I feel some sort of kinship here for sure. This is great. Oh, there's some hands. Oh, those are like the fear hands that Omori has accosting him all the time. Okay. Wait. Oh, sorry. What's the? Oops. Was there actually another way to go? I don't have my contact lenses in right now, so it's a little hard for me to see. I should have probably done that, but I can see like okay. Oh, really? Is there no other way to go? Oh, this is. Oh no, this is a way. Oh, is this just a little side thing? Let's get some commentary. A long time has passed since you have ventured this far. Deeper layers of the world open up as the dreamer grows more desperate. True. True. Even imagination is limited. You have questions that I can answer. Yeah, I would say this. Imagination is limited, and it's limited by one's experiences. And that can be solved if anyone out there is ever stuck and they were like, man, I wish I could just think of how to like do X, Y, or Z differently or better, or just things were different. Celine, forget his first name, he writes Journey to the End of the Night, says that the only thing worth doing is travel because it feeds the imagination. And everything else is just like a waste of time. I'm paraphrasing. And I would add to that, that's true. However, one can travel and see everything with the same eyes. And so to that I would also say reading books or experiencing good art of some sort, which allows you to see the world through others' experiences, is another, it's like the, in my opinion, one of the other only ways to truly travel, because you can only see new things if you see them with eyes other than your own in a lot of ways. But Celine's an author, so I'm sure he would also agree with that probably. You have questions I can answer, answers you have forgotten. I will lay them out for you. If you are curious, you will choose. These are just like questions I can ask. Okay. Let's ask about white space first. A little bit of a warm-up question. Sure. This isn't. Let's just do Basil first. Oh. Let's just ask about Basil first. Maybe we only get one question. Maybe it's like some sort of GD. Just don't want to like ask a dumb question first. One that I don't care as much about. Yes, let's just do this first. Is not in this world. So this is like a dream world. And we apparently are somewhat aware of that. Or at least this tree is making us aware of it. So that's interesting. So this really is a lot like Dante's Divine Comedy. And pull the book up again. Because it's sort of an imaginary world where one is seeking something spiritually or psychologically and exploring the nature of human beings by encountering stories and situations and trying to make choices to mentally get to somewhere. And I've already said this before, but Basil's clearly like a sense of lasting happiness, if I was to put it simply. And I've waxed lyrical about Basil in previous episodes, so I'm not going to do it again, but I think that's simply a simplistic way to put what he is. So Basil is not in our dream world. That's interesting. This game's saying that this introspection and exploration and emotional journey is not going to help us? Is that what the game's telling me? The day he was removed, he was reborn elsewhere. So we have to seek him. He's special to you. A string of fate ties you two together. You cannot leave that place alone. What place? To retrieve him, you will have to remove yourself as well, but in a way that is natural for this world. So he's stuck somewhere, like a princess in a castle. That's what I'm gathering. I don't know, I guess it's another dream world. A different sort of dream world that's not at all like the one we're in. Hopefully not hell or something like that. I'm just kidding. So that's interesting. I wonder where he is stuck. And we have to remove him and ourselves as well, but in a way that's natural for this world. So we have to figure out a way to extricate the two of them. Or headspace. We're in headspace. Okay, this is all called headspace. The journey is nearing its end. You already know what you have to do, dreamer. Is there anything else you would like to know more about? Yes, lots. Explain things. Wax poetic. White space. I don't care about the yellow cat. Is he important? I don't know. To be in white space is to be nothing. White space is emptiness, a home without warmth, a place to survive, but not to live. Even still, your consciousness cannot be erased. Conscience. So it's a moral conscience, I guess. Probably. Yeah, and I've talked about this before, probably. In my opinion, modern society is, a lot of it, is very much designed to create an environment where people are brought smaller, and pushed into a tiny little pillious ball, and made stupider. And by stupider, I mean not that you like know a lot of big words, but just that like you refuse to have your own thoughts and emotions. Yeah. And eventually your conscience cannot be erased. They'll always find a way in. But I think this game is talking about another thing as well. It's just not feeling good. The point where it's difficult to make choices or operate. I mean, it says right on the front cover when you log into this game contains themes of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Viewer discretion advised, so I don't think that's a stretch. It will take the form of one will that something will be formed to subdue it. Your conscience will take the form, and if one wills it, something will be formed to subdue it. Hanging black light bulb, the repression of an idea. What? Yes, perhaps it's time to admit that you are human, dreamer. Yeah, can you explain that again? I know I'm wasting a lot of time here, but this is kind of like a chill short episode, so I'll be doing like more pushing through the story definitely in the near future. hanging black light bulb is our conscience, being repressed, or it's repressing our conscience. Either way. Alrighty, if you say so. Yeah, so I read conscience in here as the ability and willingness to build habits and moral choices and value systems when one is not in a good place spiritually. When one's life is just filled with either white space or muck or whatever. The big yellow cat, sure, whatever. Oh god, what is this? Is this pertinent? Okay. It removes conscience, and he has evolved into a parasite within himself. He lives here, just beyond the cavern. Wisest against a reason committed an act that opposed the dreamer's will. Oh crap, this is way too magical for me. I can't follow this plot. Okay. Ooh, power. Unlimited power. Yeah. There's a challenge that will aid you greatly in this world. It's simple, without thought, and if you succeed, it will be gone as well. I offer you this sacrifice. Will you take... What? I don't understand you. I'm stupid. I understand. Stand very still, dreamer. I'll do it just because I say yes to nearly everything. The trial, spin around and see if you don't puke. God, I remember doing that so much as a kid. Ew! It's full of red liquidy goo. Splish splash. Oh, it's an apple? Okay. If you guys doubted me, and I'm not trying to be accusatory, but I'm just saying, if anybody out there doubted me that there's Christian themes galore, and this has a lot to do with Divine Comedy and other Christian stuff. Hanging apple from a tree, okay? It's like, just saying, if you think I'm just pulling stuff out of nowhere, definitely, this is be the clearest evidence I could possibly present to you. But, just saying. I don't think anyone out there doubted what I was saying, but, you know, there you go. So, apple is like the fruit of knowledge in biblical. It's the ability to see things from a moral perspective, you know, knowledge of good and evil. Lots of people interpret it differently, so there might be other interpretations. But yeah. But I like to eat the apple. Well, it's not forbidden to me, and since the only thing bad about eating the apple is that God forbade it, and in this case the tree told me to eat it, so it's not bad, so I might as well eat it. There you go, logic, boom. Probably still gonna be screwed because... Oh, it's nasty. I just love eating a loud, crunchy apple. Ooh. Wait, did I make a bad choice? Is this an important choice in the game? Fuck. Shit, I did save, so I could reload. Was that a bad choice? Oh, we killed it. Okay, I didn't realize I was making a game-altering choice there. In fact, I'm gonna reload. Luckily, we didn't do anything but talk to people, so it should take me like 10 seconds to get back here. You know, I'm gonna have to Google what that does, because I feel like that's not clear enough. Hmm. Okay, so it doesn't affect any ending stuff. It just gives you a stat boost. So it's purely like your own personal choice. Okay, I like that. I think that's fair. Because they definitely did not make it mega clear what it does, and so that should really be left up to my own decision. Okay, it doesn't affect any outcomes. Yeah, that's what it says pretty clearly. So it's a good thing I read that because I was suspicious. Sorry, I had a moment of paranoia there. Interesting. So it's purely up to you whether you want to eat the apple. It just gives you a stat boost, but changes the music. We're hearing voices and stuff now. Like intrusions. It's still psychedelic Sybient style music where it's calm and peaceful but somewhat focused. But now there's like voices like popping out of it. Something that's a little more it makes you curious, I suppose. I really want to read what the apple does again. Did it say anything? Well, I guess we should press on. Very mysterious. What's the sacrifice? Bit beyond me. I just want to listen to this music for a little bit. I can't understand what the voice is saying, but I think maybe it says I feel things, but I'm not certain at all. Creepy. Oh, back to this crazy shit. The music in this game is off the charts. Lazy man. Oh. I'm not gonna get very far in this episode because I keep wanting to stop and like listen to the track loop a couple times. So we've eaten this apple. And there's some symbolism of loss of innocence, perhaps, in the red water. I wouldn't say corruption, but just like danger. Definitely a sense of danger. You know. Apparently more powerful. Oh, it's mewing at us. That's cute. Wait, do it again. Ooh. Mega ooh. Oh, it's like a heartbeat going on in the background. Whoa, how tense. Crazy. Did the creator of this game make all this music, eh? Well, that's really fucking impressive. Not only did they make a great game, but this soundtrack competes with like almost any Sybient I've heard. With the exception of a few of perhaps my favorites. Very good stuff. To be fair, it's not a massively popular genre, so there aren't that many competitors, but... Ooh. It's so tense, though. There's like this constant, large, thumping heartbeat noise with a high-pitched whirring. Oh, crazy, man. I like feel my blood rushing to my head just listening to this. Nuts. An unhallowed burden has been placed on you. You have the power to change the future. What will you do? Unhallowed. Hallowed. Very intense. Very intense. We are receiving a sort of like intense goal. Like an inspiration is coming to us for sure, or an ecstasy and a sense of change. That's what I'm reading, at least. Nietzsche would probably call this a Dionysiac change. Dionysus is like the god of wine, as the Romans typically understand it, but in Greek culture, he's the god of plays and drama and change and ecstasy as well. I think is a much more important role. The Romans perhaps didn't understand this too much, so they just made him like a god of fun and wine, basically. Disruptiveness. Oh yeah, let's go into the big anglerfish mouth. That's a good idea. If I've ever seen a good idea, this is it. Okay, let's just get it over with. Ooh, a picnic basket. Nobody watched too much Yogi Bear when they were a kid. I'm gonna still keep that save for now. Oh, hey there. You're really, really happy looking. Okay. You know what? I trust you. You're gonna swallow us though, because this is again a Christian themed game, 110%. And we're gonna get swallowed probably, because you know Jonah and the whale. Oh, I can't remember the story of Jonah and the whale though, which pisses me off because it's. I really wish I did. I forget why he gets swallowed. Maybe it's for defying God or some shit. I don't even remember. You know what? Let's look it up. We got a couple minutes here. This is going to be a very philosophical look-up kind of episode, but that's good because it's probably going to be shorter, and then we can take a break and get back into the action. The whole point of this part of the game is to do some introspecting, so it's gonna be funny if I look this up and we don't actually get eaten by it and it has nothing to do with it, but like, come on. I'm feeling pretty confident that it's at least relevant. I just get like a summary. He goes to Nineveh to preach because people are wicked. Who's the greatest enemy? He didn't want to go, so he decided to run. God was like, well, that's not what I wanted. Sends a storm. They blame Jonah. They throw him overboard. But then, since God's not necessarily punishing him, just trying to get him to do what he wants, he sends a whale, saves him from drowning by swallowing him. Repents and whatever. For 3 days, sat in the belly of the fish. He threw up Jonah on the shores of Nineveh and warned them that the city would be destroyed in 40 days and mend their ways. They believed him, turned from their wickedness, and God had some mercy. Oh, but Jonah didn't like the mercy because he thought they were Israel's enemy. It was inconvenient for him. This story goes on for a while. God, may a thick vine grow next to the hut that Jonah stays at when he runs away again. Jonah sits in the shade of the vine, and then he sends a worm to eat the vine, and a hot wind blew and the sun beat down mercilessly. Jonah was sad to see the vine destroyed, now sat in the hot sun, complaining and wanting to die. God called out to Jonah and scolded and remarked that Jonah lamented the death of a plant he had not sown or nourished, yet he had not thought for the 100,000 children who lived in the city of Nineveh, and asked them to be destroyed. Then Jonah learned that all men were precious in the eyes of God. I feel like that story is not, that's a bit of a paraphrase. The problem with looking up religious stories online is they give you their interpretation of it as opposed to just like the blow by blow what actually happens. But maybe that's the moral of it. Yeah, I'll have to read it myself. I have read it at some point previously, but I've just forgotten it. Okay, well, that didn't tell me much, but at least there's some backstory. Well, hello there, friends. The name is Humphrey. Bad choice of name. Humphrey is the name of the villain protagonist in Lolita. But I don't think it's a reference to that. What brings you here to my humble little cave? Oh, hello, Humphrey. We're just looking for somebody. Maybe it is a reference to that. Sorry if we're bothering you. Oh, no, not at all, children. I do love visitors. In fact, you're the second group to visit me today. First was just a girl, a very loud girl with big red bow. That's Marie. Okay, this whale's starting to sound really suspicious. Maybe the Humphrey reference is a thing. Ah, it's Sweetheart here. Where is she? Oh, it's Sweetheart, not Marie. Okay. Good. I don't think Sweetheart deserves to be eaten, but whatever. Where is she? Where is she? It's on the tip of my tongue. You've eaten her. Nick, Nick. That's a joke, it is. She is. Inside me, you see. Yeah, I get it. Oh, you're evil. He's visiting my guests, for I'm also home to a family of sea witches. We spend our time together chatting and chuckling. It's so fun to hear about their daily antics. Sometimes they're even so kind as to bring me my meals. It's much easier for them, you see, for they're closer to my belly than I. In fact, I'm sure they'd love even more visitors. Here, let me lower the bridge for you. My apologies. The first guest seems to be causing some indigestion. Oh, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Well, I'm a little biased against this whale because his name's Humphrey and he's got the same name as a villainous protagonist. I think it's just supposed to be a reference to a humpback whale. So now I don't know what to think. Humphrey in Lolita is especially evil. So I'm very biased against this whale, but I don't think it's intentional on the creator's part. I'm confused now. Let's go inside. Looks like we don't have a choice. Yeah, I'm sorry, the fish face outside was evil looking, so this is probably not a good thing, but I think we don't have a choice. This is definitely a reference to Jonah and the Whale, but there's a twist to it, which I like. This is definitely not the same story, just mirrored here. Or ripped off. At all. This definitely reminds me of Ocarina of Time. Make an echo, echo, echo. Ah, where'd you come from? Welcome to my lair. Are you surprised to see me? I'm always here. I'm inside me and all around you. I'm everywhere. Or I'm just here. Wow, that's so cool, Humphrey. I wish I could do that. It's kind of gross if you ask me. Wow, so rude. Okay, Humphrey doesn't seem completely evil. I'm sorry, I'm really biased against him because, like... Yeah. It's just a coincidence, though. There are many ways to go. Where should we even start? Left, right, up, around. Doesn't matter. It's all forward, isn't it? Just pick one. It's easy. Why are we here? Okay, it's been an hour. I guess I'll call it here. I want to play some more, but I'm definitely hungry. This has been my first stream where I've streamed in the middle of the day, so that's good. Maybe I'll keep doing that. We'll see how I feel about it. Thanks for watching. If anybody watches this later, I definitely appreciate the support. This streaming gives me the motivation to actually play these games, and I haven't played any good games like this in a while. I just need some sort of sense of meaning. So yeah, definitely having viewers is very important. It helps keep me interested in doing this. More psychedelic story. Very interesting. I'll probably read up some more on Jonah and the Whale as well before I get back to this, because it's definitely going to be a key part of the story. Anyways, thanks for watching. I have a YouTube channel. You can watch my previous episodes. I believe there's a link to it in my About page. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go hang out a bit. Relax. Maybe I'll plan some other shit to do. But I'm just going to hang out with my friends and my brothers and stuff. See you later. And bye-bye.